got words borrowed from several foreign languages such as French, German, Spanish, Latin, Greek, and Sanskrit. Please make a note that English keeps borrowing words from all these foreign languages such as French, German, Spanish, Latin, Greek, and Sanskrit. Now, the basic meaning of the reason for I mentioned etymology there is to enable you know that the meaning of etymology is the study of the origin of words. I mean, how does a word origin, or how does a word take its birth? That's the meaning of etymology. E-T-Y-M-O-L-O-G-Y. I will begin with the first one, that is be and ben. And ben is good, benevolent, benediction, beneficiary. These are all the synonyms of the word, or the root word extensions of ben, or good. Benevolence, benevolent is the opposite of benevolent is malevolent, or benevolence. Benediction is blessing, and beneficiary is the one who will be benefited, maybe in a training program or so. Going to the next one, that is am or ami, meaning love, and the extended words are amiable, amicable, amenable, amity. Write down the examples for these three words: amiable, amicable, and amenable. Ramesh is very amiable with all his colleagues. I repeat, Ramesh is amicable with all his colleagues. Amiable, amicable, meaning friendly. He gels well with everyone. He empathizes with them. He understands, coordinates, cooperates whatsoever. And a dispute is settled amicably. The second word, A-M-A-C-A-B-L-E. Generally, whenever we have a dispute, we usually observe people fighting about, sites. Sites are again homonyms. C-I-T-E, site is what I'm referring to. S-I-T-E, site. C-I-T-E, site. S-I-G-H-T, site. S-I-G-H-T, site is eyesight. S-I-T-E, site is a house plot, for example. And C-A-T-E, site is citation or example, or maybe reference. So these are the homophones that you should understand. And amity is friendship. And by the word amity, what we should understand is it is friendship. Then, so this is one of the best ways of developing the knowledge of vocabulary and knowledge of word part. Even in most of the competitive exams, you are asked questions on synonyms, antonyms. By the word synonyms, I mean to say similar meanings. By the word antonyms, I mean to say opposite meanings. And of course, there are other areas such as homonyms, which is subdivided as homophones. And, similar some words that sound similarly are homophones, right? And they are studied under homonyms. Let's now go and study this. This type of word development here is truly very interesting, and you will definitely get a question on this both in your mid exams and the final exams or semester end examinations. Be very particular about this and make a note of all these words that I'm trying to explain you on these slides. Please don't miss a single word here. The next one for our discussion is Khan, C-A-R-N, Khan. It is not C-O-R-N, Khan, American popcorn or Indian popcorn that you eat. By the word C-A-R-N, Khan, I mean to say flesh. And the related words or related meanings are carnivorous, herbivorous, omnivorous. By the way, the meaning of the root vor, V-O-R, vor, is eating. So carnivorous are flesh eating, herbivorous are plant eating, and omnivorous are eating both. Carnivores, of course, we can take the examples of tiger or lion or whatsoever. Herbivorous, maybe a goat or monkey. Omnivorous, best example is man, because he eats both, he's both non-veg and veg, right? Dexterity or DES, dex or dexterity. The meaning of dexterity is ability to write. Ambidextrous is ability to write with both the hands. You might have observed people who are very proficient in writing with both the hands, meaning simultaneously they can write with the right and left hands. So usually the writing is equally good, very nice handwriting. So that is called as dexterity. Ambi is both. Dexterity is ability to use the hands. See, interesting way of developing the vocabulary, isn't it? Don't you agree with me, all of you, those who are in the Zoom room?
Agree, sir.
Thank you, Kushal. You are saying it so in a very dull tone. Probably you are feeling a bit, dozed off.
Agree,
Okay,
sir.
agree. Okay, right. I hope nobody is feeling dozed off after your meal. I usually say this in the classroom. You see, what happens is blood rushes to the spot of digestion immediately when you take meal. That's the reason you feel like dozing off. So please don't doze off. Please keep yourself on, keep yourself alert, sharp and brisk throughout the class, right? Okay. My next root word for the discussion is C-R-E-D, cred. C-R-E-D, cred. Cred is belief or trust. Credible is believable or trustworthy, credibility. Generally, companies or organizations, they keep saying, we should win the credibility of the customers. What do they mean by that? Can someone tell me? Most of the organizations, they say we should win the credibility of the customers. What do you understand by the word credibility in this sentence? Anybody in the class?
Sir,
What do you understand by the word credibility in this sentence?
to make them believe in them or to make them to trust them, sir.
Absolutely, absolutely. Is this Srikanth?
Yes, sir.
I could make out your voice. Great.
Thank you.
Yeah. So when you get the credibility of the customers, you actually try to get the trust and belief of the customers. You win the credibility. By the word incredible, it is unbelievable. Unbelievable. For example, we see the words incredible India, meaning unbelievable India. Okay, right. You also see on shops as no credit. That's a common sign that you see in the shops. Okay. Now, ego is self, and an egoistic is a person who is very selfish or proud or self-loving. Such a person is egoistic. This is the biggest problem of most of the employees. It's a problem at homes. It's a problem in the personal lives, professional lives, and academic lives. It's very difficult to, overcome this problem of ego. Quite difficult to overcome the problem of ego. The opposite of selfish is selfless. All of you, please make a note. Opposite of selfish is selfless. And opposite of proud is simple, humble, or down to earth. Opposite of proud is simple, humble, down to earth. Then you have self-loving. By the word self-loving, it is a one-word substitute that says narcissism or narcissistic. I repeat the word, N-A-R-C-I-S-S-I-S-M, narcissism, meaning a person who loves himself. is narcissistic, narcissism. Let us now look at some more root words. Fract is break. By the word fract is break. And the extended words are fracture, crack, break. Jan, by the root word, Jan. Please, I hope you're all taking down the examples. Trisha, Srikant.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. You see, the best way to develop the knowledge of vocabulary is whenever you see a word, think about the synonym of that. Also think about the antonym of that. What do you mean by that? Know the similar meaning of that word. Also know the opposite meaning of that word. Synonym and antonym. And if you know any other even idioms and phrases that are surrounding it, or quotations surrounding it, always recall those phrases and expressions. I usually tell a word called as TLE in my classroom. What is the full form of TLE? Can someone tell me? TLE.
Target language expressions.
Target language expressions. Ade. Right. You see, the moment you see a word, try to recall and recollect all the words surrounding that word. And this is the mantra I have been using in the classroom. So all of you know that. What are the 3 R's that I teach you all the time? 3 R's. Recall, retain, reproduce. I want the full sentences. Don't break it and give me the full sentences. Recall what?
The test.
No.
Recall the context.
Context.
Recall retain the test.
No, Achyut. No. Recall the context, retain the text, reproduce it in the test. Please write down once again. This will be immensely and richly beneficial, not only for your English class, but also for all your engineering classes. Contextually, situationally, you will remember whatever the teacher has taught you. That is called recalling the context. That is the reason I will give you a blazing example of this. That is the reason even in the examinations, you sit and think for the answer that you read from the book, but you don't get the answer. But somewhere in the classrooms, the example that your teacher has given you, that will come to you as a flashlight suddenly in the examination. And that will give you slowly the answer. You will recall and reproduce, recall, reproduce. Recall the context. Maybe if any jokes he has cracked during the course of his lecture, you will try to recall it. Then you will retain the text and try to reproduce it in the examination or test. So word power, vocabulary, word skills is all about that. It's all about recalling. It's all about retaining, and it's all about reproducing. So you can do that magic with this mantra, the 3 R's. And of course, plan, prepare, present. It works all the time. It is evergreen, actually, evergreen. Okay, anyways. Let me take you to the next root in our discussion, that is Zen or Zen. Zadian is Zen. Here, G and Zen. Actually, we should know the difference between the pronunciation of Gen and Zadian. So Gen is pronounced as Genesis, whereas Zbra is pronounced as zebra. Do you see the difference? Genesis and zebra, G and Z. Similarly, V and W, vowel, and W is wonderful. So there is a slight difference between V and W, G and Z. All right. So generation, Genesis. Who is that? Switch off your microphone. Whoever is singing on the microphone, you must be very happy. Right. Now, let me take you to the next root, that is mal. Mal meaning bad. I'm not saying Any shopping mall, MAL, I'm not saying MALL mall, I'm talking about MAL mall. MAL mall, meaning bad. Malicious, malware, malnutrition, malignant, maladjustment. Malicious software, meaning harmful software, bad software. Malware also is the same. Malnutrition, bad nutrition. People in Somalia are suffering from malnutrition. That means they don't have sufficient nutrition. Similarly, malignancy is a sort of cancer, and malignancy is the opposite of malignant is benign. Benign is harmless, malignant is harmful. Malignant disease generally leads to the death of the person. Benign is harmless. Benign is harmless. Then comes maladjustment. Maladjustment. What is this maladjustment? Meaning, you will struggle to adjust in the group. That's called as maladjustment. For example, let me take the blazing example of. Maladjustment here is, for example, Sriram, who sits in our class, or most importantly Sriram and others. The person comes from Telugu medium background, and all the other class batchmates in the class are from English medium background. Now Sriram is finding it very difficult to adjust in the classroom because all of them are from English medium background, and he is from Telugu medium background. I'm just taking as an example. I'm not degrading anybody here. So that is a kind of maladjustment for him. That means he's not unable to adjust properly with his friends, with his batchmates, with his buddies in the class. Understand? Okay. Let me take you to the next root for discussion. That is Phil, Phil, Phil. Phil meaning again love. Philosophy, one who loves. Soph is wisdom. S-O-P-H, Soph. Here, this part. S-O-P-H, Soph is wisdom. Wisdom. So, one who loves wisdom is a philosopher. P-H-I-L-O-S-O-P-H-E-R, philosopher. Understand? One who loves wisdom is a philosopher. So MPhil is Master of Philosophy, PhD is Doctor of Philosophy. You can write these examples in the examination whenever they ask you to write the meaning of the root, and they will also ask you to write the examples of that root word. By writing the meaning, you can also mention these examples. Okay, great. Okay, the next root word for our discussion is poly. Poly is many. Poly is many. Gam is marriage or wedding. Poly is many. Gam is marriage or wedding. So polygamy is when a person is wedded to many persons, then we call it as polygamy. And write down the other meanings of this. Monogamy is wedded to one person. Bigamy, wedded to two persons. Polygamy, wedded to many persons. Do you understand? Do you understand what I'm trying to say, everybody?
Yes, sir.
So poly is many, gam is wedding or marriage. When a person is wedded to many people, it's called as polygamy. Monogamy, wedded to mono, single, gam, wedding, wedded to one person. All right. And bi is two, gam is wedding. So wedded to two persons is bigamy. Poly, of course, is married to many persons. Polygamy is accepted in some of the religions, and I don't want to particularly name the religions, but it is acceptable, it is permissible, admissible in some of the religions. See, again, 3 synonyms: acceptable, permissible, admissible. Are you writing the synonyms, everybody? Are you writing the synonyms?
Yes, sir.
I said acceptable, followed by permissible, and then admissible, admissible, admissible. Remember, students, all the words that I'm trying to give you in the class will be highly beneficial for your written English and spoken English. It is not only beneficial for your written English, but also for your spoken English. All right. Okay. Let me take you to the next root word in our discussion. What is that? Anthrop. Anthrop is human being. Anthropology, study of human beings, is called as anthropology. Similarly, philanthropist. Philanthropist, loving human beings, or a person who loves human beings, is a philanthropist. Just now in the previous slide, we have learned that the meaning of phil is love. You see here. Therefore, hence, the one who loves human beings is a philanthropist. One who loves human beings is a philanthropist. In the same fashion, if you see this one, that is, one second. Why shouldn't I download it? Because let me take you to the full slide instead of only the, later on I can delete it from the downloads part of it, no problem. Okay. So now it is better, right? What do you say, students? The slide is better right now?
Yes, sir.
Full screen. Okay, right. So here, misanthropist. Miss is hating. Any miss is hating. For example, misnomer, false name. Similarly, misogynist. Write down another synonym here for this word. M-I-S-O-G-Y-N-I-S-T. Misogynist. M-I-S-O-G-Y-N-I-S-T. Misogynist, meaning one who hates women, or one who hates women, is a misogynist. Misogynist. Probably these people, they don't like ladies. Misogynist. So misanthropist is one who hates human beings. Misanthropist. Philanthropist, one who loves human beings. Anthropology, study of human beings. Here we have forgotten one word, that is polyglot. Poly meaning many. Glot meaning tongue. Tongue. So polyglot meaning ability to speak many tongues, or ability to use many languages. Polyglot. For example, P.V. Narasimha Rao, our former Prime Minister, he knows around 14 languages, 1/4. So he is a polyglot. He is a polyglot. Best example of polyglot. Okay. So this is how we develop the knowledge. There are so many other root words. I have taken a few examples of that. And this is one of the beautiful way of developing your knowledge of vocabulary or word power. Word power. Auto is self. Autobiography, meaning, you see, bio is life. Here, these words, bio is life. Graph is picture. Auto, self. So the meaning of this word autobiography is when a person writes his own life history, then it is called as autobiography. Do you understand? When a person writes his own life history, it is called as autobiography. The best example is, Mahatma Gandhi has written his own biography. Can someone name the book that he has written, that he wrote? Is the biography of our father of our nation, Sri Mahatma Gandhi ji. My experiments with truth. My experiments with truth. That is the autobiography of. That means he wrote his life history on his own. Right? That's called the autobiography. Autonomous, auto, self, nami. So, nom or nami is ruling or governing. Ruling or governing. For example, IRE college is an autonomous college, meaning it's a self-governing college. Self-governing college. Automatic, auto self-matic, meaning, for example, it's an automatic air conditioner, meaning it switches off automatically, it switches on automatically. Similarly, autography, auto self, graph again, picture. When someone writes somebody writes about somebody, then it's called as autography. For example, somebody wrote about Mahatma Gandhi, then it is the autography of Mahatma Gandhi. You understand? Whereas autobiography, when a person writes his own life history, then it is called autobiography. I'm sorry. You see, biography is, bio is life, graph is picture. When someone writes about somebody, then it's called as biography, not this one. I'm sorry, not this one, not autography. Bio is life, it's a Greek word. Graph is picture. When somebody writes about somebody, maybe a great celebrity, maybe a cricket personality or a movie personality, then it's called as biography. Whereas autobiography is a person writes about himself in that book, that is called as autobiography. So autography, autobiography are synonyms again. Autocracy, it is a similar word as that of autocracy, meaning self-governing, self-ruling, autocrat, self-ruling, something like autonomous kind of thing. Right. So are you writing down all the examples, everybody? Repeatedly, I'm asking. Thank you. Any doubts so far? Anything that you did not understand so far? Have you understood everything? There are only about that. Yeah, but the number has increased now. 33 students, right? Yes or no? Very good, very good. Right. Phone, PHON, phone is sound. The meaning of phone is sound. Phonetics, meaning a scientific study of speech sounds, is called as phonetics. A scientific study of speech sounds, that's called as phonetics. We study that in our language labs, English language and communication skills lab. We studied that in computer assisted language lab. We studied that in interactive communication skills lab. So that is phonetics. Chron is time. Chron is time. And chronology is logical sequence of events. That's called as chronology. For example, 1947, 1953, 1967, 1987. That is called as chronology, according to the sequence of time. According to the sequence of time. Chronicle. What is this chronicle? Chronicle is when something is whatever is going to happen, a chronicle announces the news beforehand. That's the reason we have this, the name of the newspaper as Deccan Chronicle, meaning it is almost a kind of foreseeing the future or announcing what is going to happen in future. That is called as chronicle. Chronicle. Are you writing, everybody? Students, are you writing?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Now, I've almost come to the end of this root words. Actually, I have got so many other slides, but they are not visible in the inbox. That is number one problem. Number two, I've tried my best to do it from the laptop, but the problem is, you know very well that the internet connection is constantly getting disconnected. You might have observed it yesterday. So yesterday I went to CTC, bought this, webcams and other USB modems, USB, LAN modems, these are whatnot, everything I did. Anyways, that's not your business. That's my business. So to enrich our knowledge, what is somebody chatting here? Can you give an example of dexterity in a sentence? Okay. Evari the A032. Who is A032?
So it's me, sir.
Shrikant, huh?
Yes.
Right. See, Shrikant, dexterity in a sentence. Okay. Ability to use the hands is dexterity. My aunt is, her dexterity is very, very fine and sharp. My aunt's dexterity is very, very artistic and very, very sharp. He has got sharp dexterity and artistic dexterity, meaning she has the ability to use her hands in a very artistic manner. That's called dexterity. And by the word ambidextrous, I said ability to use both the hands.
Yes.
See, why am I taking this example here? Artistic dexterity. For example, she is weaving a sweater. Imagine. She's weaving a sweater. Rather, generally ambidexterity is ability to write with both the hands. Dexterity is, we can also take it for writing. But let me give you an example of ambidextrous. One of my professors is ambidextrous. But that means he has the ability to write with both the hands. Okay, Srinath?
Yes.
Right. Welcome. Now, to sum up this session, this session on root words, what I would like to say is, to enrich our knowledge of words, root words are helpful. You see, to enrich our knowledge of vocabulary, word skills, root words are highly, immensely, richly beneficial, helpful. And they enable us to define the meaning of a word. That's the reason, see, for every word, we are trying to know the meaning of the word, definition of the word, and related words, related meanings of that word. And a time and again, I, announced this in the classroom to please download Thesaurus on your smartphones. I don't know how many of you have actually downloaded it on your. Huh?
Downloaded, sir.
Who is that? Who said downloaded?
Kushal, sir.
Kushal, I'm happy. How about others? Who are the others who have downloaded Thesaurus on their smartphones?
Sir, I have downloaded it as well, sir.
I have downloaded, sir.
Shrikant, okay. And who else? Vijay Reddy.
Sir, నేను కూడా డౌన్లోడ్ చేసుకున్నా సార్.
Okay, Sriram. Right. Happy to know whoever have downloaded. I'm happy.
I also downloaded, sir.
Thank you. You see, this is for your benefit. Thank you. This is for your benefit. And what is the meaning of Thesaurus I gave you? What did I say the definition of Thesaurus?
Collection of synonyms and antonyms.
Yeah, it's a collection of synonyms and antonyms. All of us know what a dictionary is, but most of us don't know what Thesaurus is. It's a reference tool. It's a wonderful, magnificent, amazing, fantastic reference tool. Why do we use this? For example, you're writing a report. You're preparing a presentation. You require varieties of words or a wide range of words. At one place, you need one stronger word. At one place, you need a normal word. At one place, you need a very strong verb. At one place, you need a very strong adjective. You see, how many parts of speech do we have? How many parts of speech? 8 parts of speech. And what are they?
noun, pronoun, adjective, adverb,
Hmm.
prepositions, conjunction, interjection.
Hmm. Hmm. You have forgotten, I think, adverb.
Adverb I said, sir.
Noun, pronoun, verb, adverb. Verb, did you say?
Yes, sir.
Noun, pronoun, verb, adverb, adjective, preposition. Okay.
సార్ కంజక్షన్ చెప్పలేదు సార్.
Conjunction, interjection.
Then చెప్పాను.
Preposition. Then you might have forgotten preposition.
Preposition also I said, sir.
Well, what
అన్ని
is it?
చెప్పావులే, అన్ని చెప్పావు కానీ 7 చెప్పావు.
Okay, I will say that again. Noun, pronoun, verb, adverb, okay, preposition, conjunction, interjection. Then what is the other thing that is missing? What is the other thing that is missing?
Sir,
Adjective.
noun, pronoun, verb, adverb, adjective, preposition, conjunction, interjection.
Did you get all the 8?
Yes, sir.
Right.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
All the 8, right?
Yes, sir.
Great. Very good. Very good. So the advantage of this, you don't even pronounce it as advantage. You pronounce it advantage. You might have, if you observe native speakers, they pronounce it as advantage. I mean, D is not very prominently uttered or pronounced. Anyways, the way you use these parts of speech is explained in thesaurus. Okay. How do you convert a verb into adverb into verb? It's almost like, you convert something, you have this PDF files and Word files. How do you convert it from PDF to Word or Word to PDF? In the same fashion, in the same manner, how do you change it from a noun to, adjective, or adjective to adverb to preposition? Let me give you one example. Entice. Write down this word entice. E-N-T-I-C-E. Entice. Are you writing, everybody?
Yes, sir.
E-N-T-I-C-E. Entice. Entice. The meaning of the word entice is to tempt. To tempt. T-E-M-P-T. To tempt. For example, when you see chocolates, you get enticed. Some of you, not all of you. Some of you, when you see cakes, probably you get enticed. Meaning you are tempted to eat, isn't it? So entice is to get tempted. So entice is one part of speech, right? It is an adjective. And enticed is a verb, okay? Enticing, adjective, okay? That's how you change the parts of speech. Entice, enticed. Enticed is a verb. Enticing, adjective. Likewise, when you have thesaurus with you, you will know different parts of speech, and you can, excellently, fantastically, marvelously develop your knowledge of vocabulary, knowledge of word power, word bank. Well, that will give you additional command, authority, fluency, accuracy. On what? Fluency, command, authority in your spoken communication and in your written communication. You see, the reason English is introduced in your engineering education is to help you become fluent speakers and writers. Why is that you are studying English in engineering? In addition to other areas such as, maths, physics, chemistry, okay, and other PPS things that you study. The reason you study English here is to help you, enable you, empower you, enlighten you, enrich you to use English confidently in spoken communication and in written communication. That is the major purpose, main purpose of English in engineering. Therefore, hence, you require this thesaurus. You require this reference tool with you. It should be on your fingertips. It should be something like the hush puppy that follows. Wherever you go, our network follows kind of thing. So the words are at your fingertips. The moment you click that word, you should get the meaning of that word. Then the word can become your own property. You can own that word. Right, great.
Sir, sorry to
Yes.
interrupt you, sir. I have small doubts.
Tell me, Srikant.
Sir, the level of word we use in the presentation depend upon the person we present it to, right, sir?
Absolutely.
Then what if we meet them for the first time?
You see, Srikant, even in the classes, I keep telling, we should first of all know our audience. Know the audience. What do we understand by this word knowing our audience? You should know their level of understanding. What is their level of expectation? Who are your targeted, listeners? They are your targeted listeners. You should first of all know their level of understanding, their level of knowledge. Accordingly, you need to handpick your words. What is handpicking words? When you go to vegetable market, when you go to fruit market, you handpick fruits, you handpick vegetables. You don't handpick anything that is available there. You are very choosy. You are very, very careful in, handpicking only the ripe, ripened vegetables or ripened fruits,
Yes.
good quality fruits. In the same fashion, depending on the knowledge of the listeners, depending on the knowledge of their understanding, you handpick words. For instance, I also conduct workshops for English teachers as one of the Oxford University Press resource person. So the kind of vocabulary I use there, I cannot use when I teach to my students. Otherwise, you will tell me, sir, what are you teaching? You are teaching us Greek and Latin.
Yes.
Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
That will become rocket science engineering for you. That's the reason when I come to my students, I try to stoop down to their level. Rather, I try to step into their shoes. What is stepping into their shoes? Am I wearing their shoes?
No, sir.
Then what is the meaning of that? It's an idiom or phrase. What is the meaning of that?
It's the meaning like we act like them or we
No.
feel them,
No, feeling.
understand them.
Exactly. When you step into the shoes of the opposite person, you try to understand the opposite person. You try to know their needs, their requirements, their demands. Write down again all the three synonyms: needs, requirements, demands. Accordingly, you will choose your words, do the presentation, whether it is PowerPoint or project report or letter writing or essay writing or précis writing or whatsoever.
Okay.
Okay, Srikant?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Welcome. So the summary of our presentation is, the essence, the gist of our presentation is to enrich our knowledge of words. Root words are helpful. To empower, to enlighten our knowledge of words, these root words are helpful. Enable us to define the meaning of a word. Linguists, scientists who study language, they refer to the root words. Linguists are language specialists, language masters or language experts. Those people are known as linguists. Lingua is language. Lingua franca. English is lingua franca, is what they say. That means it is universally spoken. It is spoken everywhere. Japanese use it, Chinese use it, everybody, lingua franca. Okay, right. Scientists, all of them, they refer to these root words. Now, another blazing example I can give here is, for example, take this word lexis. The meaning of lexis is word. Lexicon is dictionary. Okay. Lexicographer is one who compiles a dictionary. Lexicography, the art of compiling a dictionary. Write down all these words. Lexis is word. Of course, it's a noun. Lexicon, dictionary, again noun. Lexicographer, noun, one who compiles a dictionary. Lexicography, the art of compiling a dictionary. Lexicography is also a noun. All are nouns for that matter. Are you writing, everybody?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Trisha, please don't forget to send their numbers, ma.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Shall I go to the next slide with your permission?
Yes, sir.
Right. So what have we learned? We have learned root words. We have also studied etymology. The meaning of etymology is study of origin of words. That's called etymology. We have seen several examples on this, definitions of different words. So it enriches our word or root words, an interesting and enriching method of improving our word skills. Now, we still have a lot of time. We have time till 3:10 because it's a 2-hour class, as you all know. Yes or no? Am I right, my dear students?
Yes, sir.
It's a 2-hour
Yes,
class.
sir.
So we can go on happily till 3:10. Therefore, what I'm going to do is, I will straight away take you to some of the, because I've got those slides, but they are not found in the inbox for various technical reasons. Therefore, what I am going to do now is take you, our further study is phrasal verbs. I've got several phrasal verbs actually. Idioms and phrases, phrasal verbs, and one-word substitutes. I think more than idioms and phrases, more than what do you call one-word substitutes, I will first of all focus on phrasal verbs. Then I will take you to the rest of them if our time permits, because we have just now finished root words. Now we are going to phrasal verbs. Okay. You're all able to see my screen, right, everybody?
Yes, sir.
Great. All right. So I have directly taken you to one of the sites so that our discussion can be very fruitful, result-oriented, and productive. Okay. 200 common. Okay, 80 most common phrasal verbs. Let's go to this one. Okay, right. So, what is a phrasal verb is the question. What is a phrasal verb is the question. If you see the definitions here, phrasal verbs are 2 or more words that together act as a completely new word with a meaning separate from the original words. For example, pick up is to lift or grab. You see, generally people ask, can you pick me up from the railway station? Can you pick me up from the airport? Can you pick me up from the bus station? What are they asking you? What do they ask you? They are trying to ask you, can you take me or can you receive me at the railway station? Can you receive me at the airport? Can you receive me at the bus station? Receiving meaning, you give them a lift. Yes or no? That's called pick up. That's the reason we have 2 words, pick up and drop. Pick up is when you receive a person. Drop is when you drop a person at a particular point. We know these 2 words usually, generally. Now, popular in spoken English, phrasal verbs can be quite confusing because the definitions aren't always easy to guess. We cannot say the meanings of all the phrasal verbs are the same. When we actually go and study them, you'll understand what is the meaning of that. What is the threadbare difference between one phrasal verb and the other phrasal verb? And there are thousands of them. In fact, many phrasal verbs are distinct variations on the same base verb, which can add to the confusion. For multilingual speakers in particular, phrasal verbs are one of the most difficult topics in learning English. Who are multilingual speakers? Meaning people who speak many languages. Such people, just like polyglot we have discussed just now, multilingual, many, lingual, meaning languages. People who speak many languages, phrasal verbs are very confusing at times. To help simplify this complicated issue, what follows is our guide to understanding English phrasal verbs, including a list of the most common ones. Now, what is a phrasal verb? A phrasal verb combines a normal verb with an adverb or a preposition to create an entirely new verb phrase. The meaning of a phrasal verb is usually unrelated to the meanings of the words that comprise it. Okay. I don't want to get into the in-depth definitions of all that. Let me straight away take you the example so that you will understand it in a better fashion. Okay. Now look at this one. I had the flu last week. By the word flu, it will send jittery waves down your spine. Write down this word, jittery waves. What do I mean by jittery waves? Anybody in the class? That will send shocking waves down your spine nowadays when you listen to the word flu. Why? What's the reason? Because the word flu is also linked to corona. It's also linked to this Omicron or Delta variant or whatsoever we are discussing. Therefore, I had the flu last week, but got over it. Got over is the phrasal verb in this sentence, meaning I have recovered from that flu. The meaning of got over here is recovered from that illness or sickness. Recovering from illness or sickness. So contextually, we are trying to learn phrasal verbs here. Okay. Similarly, in the same fashion, not all these things. I want to straight away take you to the examples of actual phrasal. Now you see common phrasal verbs with meanings and examples. Backup, support or defend someone. When the class was making fun of me, only the teacher backed me up. What do you understand by this sentence? Anybody in the classroom? When the class was making fun of me, only the teacher backed me up. What do you understand by this sentence?
Only
Teacher supported that person.
Teacher supported that person or defended that person. How are you able to make the meaning of that? Because the meaning is written here very easily. Imagine there is no meaning here. You'll have to guess the meaning based only on the context or situation. Yes or no?
Yes.
Sir.
So write down this first example. When the class was making fun of me, only the teacher backed me up. We also know that backup is whenever you format your computer, whenever you format your laptop or desktop, the technician will ask you, sir, have you taken the backup of all these files? That means, do you have all these files in another format? Have you taken them in maybe in a hard disk or maybe in another storage form? That's another backup. Then we have different meanings of backup, especially in this computer world, especially in this information technology explosion world. There are different meanings of backup. Another meaning of backup here is when the power goes off. When the power goes off, you should never ever say current goes off. Power goes off. When the power goes off, we have the backup of generator in our college. Write down another example. When the power goes off, we have the backup of generator in our college. Electrical generator in our college. That means there the meaning of backup is a generator. So there are 2-3 meanings again. In one meaning that I said, it is, have you taken the backup of these files? That means, have you downloaded them or have you saved them in one hard disk? That is one meaning. Another meaning, backup here is power generator, power generator. You don't even call it as power generator. When the power goes off in our college, we have a we have the backup of a power generator. We call it as UPS. What is that? UPS. Who can tell me the full form of UPS? Engineering students are very famous for their acronyms, meaning shortcut words. Whenever you ask them the full form of that word, or whenever they are asked to give the abbreviation of that word, they usually cannot give the full form of that word. Now, can you give me the full form of this acronym, UPS? What is the full form of that? I'm very particular about acronyms. Anybody in the class? Anybody in the class? Mechanical, civil, Srikant, Achyut, Trisha, Sriram. Hello.
Sir, can you repeat it, sir?
Uninterruptible power supply.
Sorry.
Uninterruptible power supply.
Is it uninterruptible power supply or is it uninterrupted power supply?
Uninterruptible, sir.
No, I don't think so. It is uninterrupted power supply. Generally, you see on televisions, they say, sorry for the interruption is what they say. Or we deeply regret the inconvenience caused whatsoever. So here it is uninterrupted power supply. Uninterruptible, I don't think it is the correct one. Anyway, we'll check it later on. But power supply, PS is power supply. As far as I remember, it is uninterrupted. We will cross check it. Great. So let us go to the next phrasal verb in our discussion, that is breakdown. Breakdown. Remember, phrasal verbs are very, very important. They are very interesting. At the same time, based on the context, you can guess the meaning of the phrasal verb, context or situation. You cannot just blindly make the meaning of it based on the situation or context. All right. Breakdown. Stop working, especially when referring to machines. Here it is given as the ice cream machine at McDonald's is always breaking down. Generally, breakdown is used in the case of four-wheelers or two-wheelers. Most importantly, in a city such as Hyderabad, where the traffic is usually inundated, or the roads are inundated. By the word inundated, submerged, especially because of rains. During rainy season, two-wheelers and four-wheelers break down, okay, in the traffic because of, you know, water that flows into the engines, water that flows into the silencers, water that flows into, you know, the body of the engine. So then you say, my four-wheeler has broken down, my two-wheeler has broken down. What does it mean? It has broken down, or it broke down. My two-wheeler broke down, my four-wheeler broke down. Okay, you got as broke down, not broken down. Okay. When you say that your two-wheeler is not functioning properly, when you say that your four-wheeler is not functioning properly, then you use the word broke down. That means it stopped working, especially referring to machines. Stop functioning properly, especially referring to machines. Due to heavy rain, my four-wheeler broke down in the traffic. Due to you know, the downpour, my four-wheeler broke down in the traffic. Usually it happens, battery goes down, or, you know, some kind of water gets into the engine, and, you know, have you, anybody in the classroom, did you experience such kind of thing anytime in the traffic? Or you say no? Have you ever had this encounter or experience anytime in the traffic?
No, sir.
Huh?
No, sir.
No. Kushal says no. Okay, right, great. So backup and breakdown are two phrasal verbs that we have seen. I'm not going to focus on every phrasal verb. Whichever is important is what we are going to throw light on.
Sir,
Yes, yes.
sir, breakdown can also be used in context to human emotions, no, sir? He had an emotional breakdown.
Superb, fantastic, marvelous. That's the reason I need students such as Srikant in my class. I need students such as Yashwant Achyut, that fellow to open up and speak up in my classrooms. Okay, you know, think out of the box, my dear students. You know, go out of the box. Breakdown. Another meaning is human emotions. I mean, human beings can also break down. For instance, a blazing example that I can give here is Sanjay Dutt's sister. She broke down in front of the press persons or journalists. She tried her best to fight back her tears. For what is fighting back her tears? These are all direct phrases and expressions that I am bringing from Hindu newspaper, which I read every day, of course. And I encourage all of you also to do that every day. But I'm sure most of you might not take it very seriously. That's a different thing. Sanjay Dutt's sister, she fought back her tears in front of press persons or journalists, and she broke down in front of journalists or press persons. It was an emotional moment for Sanjay Dutt's sister when her brother he got released from the prison after a very, very, very long and hard struggle, because they fought very hard in the court of law to bring this man out of jail, out of the bars. Now, I don't remember her name, some name, Sanjay Dutt's sister's name. Anyways, so she fought back her tears, meaning she was almost about to cry. She tried her best to fight back her tears. However, she broke down in front of the press persons. That means she cried in front of the press persons. She wept in front of the press persons. That is called as breaking down. Excellent, Srikant. Amazing, fantastic, marvelous, great. Great. Shall I go to the next example with your permission, everybody?
Sir.
Okay. Calm down, of course, is okay. Whichever is important, whichever you can remember for your examinations, whichever is important from the perspective of your examination, with special reference to, with special regard to, with special respect to your examination. How many synonyms did I use just now? How many synonyms did I use just now? With special respect to, with special regard to, with special reference to. 3 synonyms, 3 phrases and expressions. You can also use this in your letter writing. Please make a note. Please make a note. I repeat, with special reference to, with special regard to, with special respect to. Respect to. So, from the perspective of your examination, whichever is important is what I'm throwing light on. I'm throwing light on. What is throwing light? I'm taking a torchlight and throwing light on that. What is the meaning of throwing light on someone? The meaning of throwing light on something
Spotting
is...
someone.
Sorry?
Spotting someone.
Not spotting.
Sir, giving a brief explanation about that.
Absolutely.
Opening up the topic.
Absolutely. Just explaining something, demonstrating or displaying something. That's called, throwing light on something. Okay, right. Calm down. So relax after an energetic or irritated state. Imagine a person is highly agitated, highly, irritated, agitated, annoyed, and, then someone says, hey, calm down. Why are you unnecessarily irritated? Why are you unnecessarily annoyed and agitated? That's what someone says. That's what someone says. What does it mean? People are trying to tell you, hey, cool down. Why are you losing your temper? Why are you unnecessarily losing your temper? Okay, don't spoil your moods. Relax. Cool is what they say. Calming down is that. Relax after an energetic or irritated state. Call off. What is calling off or cancelling? We call the party off. We called off the party. Generally, is this okay? Calm down is okay for everybody? Have you understood? Calm down.
Yes, sir.
I think that example is more than sufficient. I don't want to, still spend some more time on that. Great, done. Now, call off is cancel. The employees called off their strike. The government promised them that their demands will be met, that the government will meet their demands. Therefore, hence the employees called off their strike. That means the employees cancelled their strike. Employees were on strike, but after the discussions with the government, since the discussions were fruitful, since the discussions were very, very, productive, the employees called off their strike or cancelled their strike. I'm not giving this example. I'm giving my example. Do you understand, everybody? Mechanical and civil students?
Yes, sir.
Great, great. Thank you, Kushal. Okay. Checkout, of course, is you check in and check out a hotel. That is also another meaning of checkout. But here, verify a person or thing can sometimes be flirtatious when used in reference to a person. I will check the contract out. I'll check out the contract. Well, more than this example, please write down the example that I'm going to give you now. Check out. You see, you check in a hotel and you check out a hotel. Imagine you went to Mumbai to attend a training program or to watch some cricket match there in Mumbai. You check in a hotel, right? Checking in a hotel is, you take a room or you hire a room on rent. That is called checking in. You hire a room on rent. That's called checking in. Similarly, checkout is vacating the room after your 2 or 3 days of stay. That's called checkout. That's the reason you might have observed this, these words in, most importantly, in lodges, they use this word. Hotels and restaurants, lodges, they use this word. What is your check-in time, sir? They will ask you. Then what is your checkout time, sir? They will ask you. What do they mean by that? What they are, they are trying to ask your actual login time and logout time in our general computer language. Generally, check-in, check-out is that. It need not be only those, lodges and restaurants. It can also be your, for example, you are given biometric. Even students give biometric in IRE college. So the teacher will, or the administration in IRE will check your check-in time, and the administration will also check your checkout time for you and also for us. Even faculty members, we have our check-in time and checkout time. So that will be checked by the administration. I hope this example is much clearer when compared to the previous one. Great. Clean up is okay. I don't want to focus much on that. Cheer up, of course, yes, this is important. Cheer up. Make someone happy, especially if they were previously sad. This is something very, very important nowadays. You see, we have got these IPL matches, this, that, and even there we have people who cheer up. That's a different thing. But cheer up here, people generally say, hey guys, cheer up, is what they say. Meaning, imagine you lost the match. You're playing a cricket match. You have got 2 matches, one in the morning and one in the afternoon. So the team captain or the team coach, if the team has lost the match in the morning, the team coach will come to them and he will tell them, guys, cheer up, cheer up, cheer up. It's okay. You have lost the match in the morning, but do not lose your heart. You will definitely win the match in the afternoon. I repeat, do not lose your heart. Take heart. By the word take heart, write down both the words. Again, wonderful phrases and expressions. Take heart, lose heart. Taking heart is be brave, be bold, be confident. That is called take heart. Lose heart is when you are totally discouraged. When you are discouraged, then you say, don't lose heart. Or don't get discouraged. That's the meaning of losing heart. L-O-O-S-E, lose heart, H-E-A-R-T, heart, lose heart, meaning don't get discouraged. Don't get discouraged. What is take heart? Get encouraged. Come on, cheer up. That's called take heart. Take heart. Understand? Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Right. Thank you. Are you learning something new today?
Yes, sir.
Right. Now, even get also has several phrasal verbs. We have got several verbs with get. Okay. all these phrasal verbs we get are equally good and important. Anyways, okay. Keep up. Keep up. Continue doing something. Generally, teachers write on your worksheets. If your work is good, they'll mention it as keep it up. Good going. Nice work. Keep it up is what they say. What is the meaning of keep it up? Or keep the good work going is what they write. Continue doing something. That's called as keep up. Keep up your good practice of, keep up your good handwriting. Keep up your discipline in timings. Keep up your, all this is keeping up, meaning continue doing something. Okay. You see, look after again, a very commonly used phrasal verb, an important phrasal verb. Take care of someone or something is looking after. Thank you for looking after me when I was sick. Naturally, you see, you will get very, very grateful. You will be very grateful to the person who takes care of you, who looks after you during the times of your sickness. Yes or no? Imagine you had a very bad temperature, high fever, you are coughing. Most importantly, you always thank your parents. You must always thank your parents, okay, for looking after you very, very nicely, because they look after your what? Clothes, they look after your health, they look after your future, your academics, your studies. So you should actually use this phrasal verb when you talk to your parents. Thank you, mom, for looking after me in all aspects. In all aspects. Thank you for looking after me in all aspects. Academics, health, food, okay, what not everything. Who else can we be grateful except our parents? Yes. Now look up to somebody. This is also a very wonderful, beautiful phrasal verb. One of our colleagues was using this actually during our discussions. They were all looking up to her. In the meeting, they were all looking up to her. What is the meaning of looking up to somebody? Admiring someone, idolizing someone. For example, when Pawan Kalyan stands on the podium, all the fans look up to him. That's the reason Bandla Ganesh always says, Bandla Ganesh is my name. My name is Bandla Ganesh. My God is Pawan Kalyan is what he says all the time. That means he's idolizing him almost. He's admiring him almost. That's called looking up to a person. Generally, you look up to your cricket celebrities. You look up to your movie celebrities. Okay, great. Mix up. Confuse something with someone else. It's easy to mix up this with that. Generally, you say, hey, don't mix up this with that, is what you say. Why do you mix up this and that? Don't mix up is what you say. What is the meaning of that? What is the meaning of that? Meaning, don't confuse me. Don't confuse something. This is different and that is different. Why do you mix up things unnecessarily? You see, generally tablets, for example, mother's tablets, father's tablets, imagine. You generally say, don't mix up both the tablets, or don't mix up father's and mother's tablets. These are her tablets and these are his tablets. Generally, after a certain age, people also, take tablets. Yes or no? All right, okay. Are you all writing down these examples? Everybody?
Yes, sir.
Are all the examples easy to understand?
Yes, sir.
Do you have any problems in understanding?
No, sir.
No. Great. Now, put on, wear or add something to your person or an object. Put on. I always put my backpack on before leaving the house. I always put on my backpack before leaving the house. Why all that? Let me give you a very simple example. My friend has put on a new t-shirt. My friend has put on a new shirt. Putting on is nothing but wearing something. Okay, wearing something. Put on, turn on. Okay, turn on the television, put on the television, switch on the television. These are all similar meanings again. Okay, Put up with also, of course, is very, very important nowadays. Put up with, tolerate or condone. I cannot put up with, such a kind of neighbor. I think I'm vacating my house. Imagine you are living as a tenant in one of the houses, and that person is creating all sorts of problems for you. The neighbor, he plays his music at a very high sound, and generally they make a lot of noise during the nights, and they throw all the dust in front of your house. All these problems. So then you say, maybe after 3 years or 4 years, then you say, I'm sick of this fellow. I'm fed up with this fellow. I'm sick of this man. I'm fed up. I'm vexed with this fellow. Write down all these 3 words. Sick of my tenant, sick of my neighbor, fed up with my neighbor, I'm vexed with my neighbor. 3 words again. Sick of my neighbor, fed up with my neighbor, vexed with my neighbor. Meaning, I cannot continue to live as his neighbor anymore. I'm sorry, I cannot do that, is what you say. Then you say, I cannot put up with his nuisance. I cannot put up with this kind of nuisance. This is a big nuisance for me. This neighbor is a big nuisance for me. Nonsense and nuisance for me is what you say. That means I cannot tolerate this nuisance anymore, anytime longer, any more longer. Now, run out of something. Run out of something. What is running out of something? Use all of or drain the supply of something is called as running out of something. First time I listened to this phrasal verb is one of my principals, he sent me to Delhi. I'm also giving you that blazing example. This is how you contextually remember phrases and expressions. This is where I use the word recall the context, retain the text and reproduce it in the test. Contextually, even today, I remember who used that word, in what context he used that word. Okay. All those things I remember. Therefore, I still remember that word. This happened maybe 20 years ago. I think he used this word in the year 2002 or 2001, if I'm not wrong. Almost 20 years. Even today, I remember it. How? Because I love that. I love English and I remember English based on spoken expression. I very carefully listen to those expressions and I also remember, recall, retain those expressions and reproduce it when the situation demands. Reproduce those expressions, those phrases, those target language expressions when the situation demands, right? Now, my principal told me, he gave me some money. We were going to Bonvita quiz contest. This was happening in Noida, Eagle Studios, Noida, Delhi. So 2 of our students, 10th standard students, they got selected for this Bonvita quiz contest. Derek O'Brien was the host those days. You might not be knowing him because this is old times example is what I'm using. So they have sent, I have been sent along with them as a guardian. Generally, teachers are sent as guardians along with our quiz masters or guardians, whatever you call. Quiz master maybe, or to coach them in the quiz program, you can call it as. So I was sent along with these 2 kids. So he gave me some money. During the course of his communication, he told me, if you run out of money, if you run short of money, do not hesitate to call me, is what he told me. You understand? He told me, if you run out of money, if you run out of your resources, if you run short of money, please never hesitate to call me and ask for more money. This was what he said. So running out of something, generally you run out of resources. You run out of battery, right? Imagine your battery is fully charged, your mobile battery or your, say, laptop battery. At times you may run out of the battery. I ran out of my battery is what you can say. Okay, I ran out of ink in my pen. You have ink in your pen. I ran out of ink.
So another example you can give, the simple example.
What is that?
I ran out of petrol in the middle of the road.
Superb. See, when you give an example, how can it be wrong, man? Huh? When Srikanth gives an example, how can it be wrong? It can't be wrong.
Flatter me.
No. See, I'm not flattering. All that I'm trying to say is, see, in the class, when my student gives me such examples, I'm actually overwhelmed. I am overwhelmed with happiness, with joy. overwhelming joy, overwhelming happiness. In pure Telugu, you got ubbit abbib అయిపోవడం. When my student gives me a beautiful, wonderful, fantastic, appropriate, relevant, suitable, apt, pertinent example, how can't I appreciate him? How can't I say good words to him? I cannot remain like that, because you deserve those positive words. You deserve that appreciation. That's the reason I said that. Anyways, so yes, you run out of petrol, which is another very blazing example. I was going on an important work on my bike, and in the traffic I ran out of petrol. I was going on an important work to my friend's house. I was driving my car, and half of the way I ran out of petrol. Half of the way, I ran out of petrol, meaning I ran out of those resources. Okay, you can take down any one of these examples. Remember, this is useful both for spoken communication and for written communication. Very good, Srikanth. Very good, very good. It's almost 3:10. I think I have given so many phrasal verbs so far. How many phrasal verbs have I given you so far, my dear students? Amma, how many phrasal verbs have I given you so far? Anybody?
12, sir.
Only 12, huh?
Yes, sir.
Do you all agree with him? Srikanth, Achyut, all of you, do you say it's only 12 verbs?
Sir, I've written 14, sir.
You see, this Srikanth says he has written 14 phrasal verbs.
Written 13, sir.
Okay, anyways, no problem. One or two words here and there that might happen, because we are doing several words here. No issues. I think with one more phrasal verb shall we close for today? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Okay.
sir.
Turn down, reject or say no. Again, very beautiful phrasal verb. The committee turned down his request, meaning the committee rejected his request. Now the government employees in Andhra Pradesh, their demands are about pay revision commission, PRC, new salaries for them, new pay revision commission for them. But what they say is the government has turned down our request. It has not turned down so far. I'm just giving it as an example. Imagine if the government has turned down the request, then you say the government has rejected the request, or government has said no to the request. That is the reason they are singing several songs. Who Antava CM, who Antava CM is what they are singing there. Who said that? Who said that? Who is smiling there? It's okay, no problem. I just cracked the joke. Trisha, na evaru? Trisha, okay. You can, okay, they are singing songs on CM now, yes or no?
Yes, sir.
You will see the news now. They are singing songs on CM, saying that who Antava CM, who Antava CM. You know what they are saying. That means, do you say yes CM or do you say no CM? In that context, I have brought that example here. Ante, game just to make it. See, language learning epudu kuda jovial ga, happy ga, right? In a jovial manner, in a happy atmosphere, in a joyful atmosphere, in a happy atmosphere, you should learn. Edo itla serious ga, mottham ippudu kompalani munigipoyinattu, we should not learn language in such a way. Learn it joyfully, playfully. This is called playful learning or joyful learning. Okay, na? Right?
Sir.
I think it's already 3:10 according to my watch. Shall we stop it here?
Yes.
Shall we stop it here, ma?
Yes, sir. Okay, sir.
Amma, Trisha, please don't forget to send those numbers, ma.
Okay, sir. I will send, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I hope, are you all checking your attendance? Those who are attending classes regularly?
Sir.
So those who are attending, are you getting attendance in your CMS?
Yes, sir.
Civil students I am marking, because mechanical students I don't think one or two are still to be registered, or I don't know, because it is not properly mapped. So whatever numbers I see there, I am giving them attendance. Don't worry. Your attendance will be taken care of. You need not worry. Understand, everybody?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Sir, I have a small request, sir. Can I call you up when you are free, sir?
Yeah, call me, no problem.
Oh, so when should I call you, sir?
Uh, calling me time, huh? Time. Okay, 7:30.
Okay, sir. Just a 5 minutes of time, sir.
7:30. 7:30.
Thank you, sir.
Right, ma. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. So how was the class? Was the class interesting, useful, meaningful, resourceful?
Yes, sir.
Shrikant said yes. How about others?
Interesting, sir.
That means for others it is very boring, probably. Huh?
Interesting only, sir.
Okay, okay. Thank you, Matrisha. Thank you. Okay. See you all on Monday again. Take care. Have a nice weekend.
Thank you, sir.
What is your next class, ma?
No class.
Sports period.
Oh, okay, okay, fine, fine. So I'm ending meeting for all. Enjoy, enjoy.
Okay.
Okay.